Hi guys, after this video you will know how to create full stack application using TypeScript with Node.js and Express. If you are a beginner or intermediate, it's perfect way to extend your knowledge, but remember first to try to write the code by yourself. Okay, I want to write this app from scratch, but I am gonna walk you through every script and explain exactly what is going on and how it works. Let's go. This app is pretty useful. I did it because I want to quickly upload any files and get downloadable links. This layout is pure HTML and CSS returned by Node. I am not using any front-end framework here. I can upload some photo, for example, with drag and drop and immediately get a link. To make this link available from anywhere in the world, you just have to host the application somewhere like I did. You can check out the repo on GitHub, but that's besides the scope of this video. Today we're gonna work on just localhost. Now if I want to access this file, I can just copy, paste it anywhere. And that's it, the file was downloaded. Okay, the entry point of the application, server.ts, where we are launching the app using app.listen. And very important here is the config object from index.ts, where I can specify download domain, environment, desired port, upload directory, max file size, link expiration time, allowed file types, log level, and so on. Functions below are simple utils, for example, max file size bytes, changes provided megabytes to bytes. Don't forget to call require.env at the beginning of the file. This allows to access process.env variables. And one important detail, this is the base config. I'm using it unchanged in the main application, but for the testing environment, I want to change the log level, change the upload directory, and set the environment to test. But don't worry, later we'll talk about log levels and tests as well. Go back to server.ts. Everything below line 17. Technically the app would work without it, but it's good practice to gracefully handle shutdown signals. When I shut down application with Ctrl+C, I get nice logs, remove storage, make sure background process is gonna stop. Let's check out app itself in the app.ts. First, of course, I initialized Express application, use methods mounts middleware. Middleware is everything we need before and after request processing. For example, JSON parser, some logging, router. Let's look up the router. We have three main routes. Home, which returns HTML and CSS. Form, upload allows to upload the file and returns the URL. And file/id, which allows to download a file associated with particular URL. Last argument in every route are handlers, defined in controller/file controller. Here .send allows you to specify text/HTML response and HTML content. It's just HTML with upload form and over 100 line of CSS to make this layout slightly less ugly. It's just a basic HTML and CSS. Honestly, nothing to talk about. Let's go back to the router, because upload endpoint has third argument, which intercepts file from the post and saves it to the disk. This logic is hidden in upload middleware. I am using Multer, which is super popular library for handling files from requests. First, I declare disk storage to actually save the file. Then file filter forbids to upload files with some weird meme types like .exec and so on. And at the end, I export configured Multer object. Let's jump to next handler. It returns 400 code, which stands for bad request if file was not provided, not attached to the request. Then I am using another util function to generate unique name, which consists of color and fruit or vegetable. I just thought it's cooler than some random strings. But in case the name is already busy, I'll generate some random string. But let's go back one line up. You've probably already noticed file store object, which is kind of a mocked database. Because this app is so small that I keep them up in the RAM memory, simply mapping its ID to the object with details. I implemented some basic utilities here like get by ID, add, delete, get all, get size, and that's it. Of course, for some real-world production, you should replace this with a more persistent store literally any database. Let's go back. Here I have uploaded file interface with some basic properties like file path, original name, timestamp, meme type, and of course ID. Next, I am adding ID with this interface to my map and construct download URL simply by connecting current domain, in this case localhost, with /file/ID. And of course, simple HTML response, which contains URL wrapped in h1 tag. This block is also wrapped in try-catch statement to make sure that if something goes wrong, I am cleaning the partially saved files to make sure that some corrupted files won't be blocking my space on my server. And at the end, very important built-in function next, which passes error to the global error handler, or in general, very important, the next function passes control to the next middleware function in the stack. Without it, the request would hang and not proceed. The last handler is responsible for downloading the file. It gets ID from the request param. I mean, everything after file / is interpreted as ID in this get route. Next, I am looking for the file data using file ID as a key in my file store. If it's not available, probably the link expired, so I am returning 404, which stands for file not found. It's probably the most popular HTTP code, so for sure you are familiar with it. Next, download function is a built-in function. As you can see, transfer the file at the given path as an attachment. So I am passing the path and original name. If any error occurs, I am using my logger to show the error message, or else if everything goes right, just logging successful message. If you will uncomment this line, it's gonna remove the file after download, so it's useful when you want your link to be downloadable just one time. That's a good moment to check out the logger file in the utils directory. Basically, it's just a wrapper around standard console.log. It's handy because it wraps it with current timestamp and allows to set log level only to the most important messages like error/warning, and makes info and debug silent. And that's probably it about the application itself, but tests are also very important. So I implemented basic ones to show you the flow. I'm using Jest end-to-end testing. Function before all, as the name suggests, runs before any test. And here I am creating test application. This function is in my Bootstrap utils. It basically just starts the application and exposes app, server, and close function, which I use after the tests to shut down the application. Exactly here in after all. First test should return 404 for a non-existing file. So first I make request, then I expect response status to be 404. Second one should upload a file and return valid URL. So I load the test image, create a buffer from it, make post request with binary attachment, and I expect status code 201, which stands for created, and response.text to match HTML regex. This is necessary because my response is not plain JSON. It's wrapped with HTML h1 tag, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Okay, so let's run the test with npm run test end-to-end. Run in band should run all the tests. The color is green, so it looks very good. At the end, I'm gonna run the application itself to make sure it works. And as you can see, the server started and is waiting for requests. And I think that's basically it. Feel free to copy or fork this repo. I am not Express expert, but if you have any question, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and hopefully see you soon.